The friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, a symbol of hope for all of New York, is just a guy who hides under a mask who wants nothing but to protect innocent lives. But what if that same kid went to a different universe, way too far from his home? While fighting Doctor Strange, Peter took the magic box and webbed Strange through geometry. But in the end, when he was leaving the mirror dimension, Strange took back the box from his hands and threw Spidey into a different universe. This world was not the one that he grew up in. It was dark and extremely unfamiliar. The place that Spider-Man was spawned into is the city of Gotham. But this city does not have a hero now. There's no Batman to save Gotham, because in this universe, Batman is already dead. While fighting with the Joker, Batman slipped from a building and was dead by an accident, which led to Alfred going into complete depression as he lost the only person that he truly believed in. So when Spider-Man arrived in Gotham, no one found out about him. Not even Commissioner Gordon, as he never existed in this universe in the first place. And speaking of this world, just remember that this Spider-Man is not the one that we have seen before. He's a completely different Spidey with no previous experience of what the multiverse actually is. He's afraid of what comes next, and is scared for Aunt May and MJ as he's now completely alone without any knowledge on his way back home. But this is Spider-Man that we're talking about. He jokes about all of his situations and swings around the city helping others in need because that's what he likes to do, saving people even when he's helpless. By the way, if you're interested in more stories like this, then subscribe to the channel for more such content. And after a week of saving lives while hiding from everyone at the same time, Peter finds out about Batman and how he was the only hero in the city who fought against crimes and took responsibilities that no one could. And at the same time, he also finds out about the villains that Batman once faced and how they are now secretly ruling over Gotham. Spider-Man makes his mission to take out every villain in the city, but the issue is that he doesn't have any resources and proper information to be able to fight others. While all of this is happening, a rumor starts to spread around the city that a guy in a red and blue suit is webbing up thieves mysteriously. This rumor is heard by Alfred, who was sitting in a bar because he has lost all of his hope and now suffers from depression. So initially he doesn't think much about the ongoing rumor in the city, but still decides to keep an eye on this unknown superhero. And a few days later, when Alfred was going to the bar for some drinks, he saw Spider-Man laying on the ground completely exhausted from all the saving that he's been doing. But as soon as he heard a voice screaming for help, he swung away for the rescue. Seeing this, Alfred wrote a note saying, "I see a hope in you. Meet me near the bar tonight. Gotham needs us," and keeps that note near the place where Spidey was resting. Reading this, Peter feels a need to help this random stranger because of his kind heart. He changes his costume and goes near the bar, standing right next to Alfred, asking what's the issue. He's unaware of the fact that Alfred was the one who helped Batman fight against crimes. Alfred senses a kind heart and feels a ray of hope from him, but still doesn't tell him about his previous life as Peter was still a stranger to him. So he lies to Peter that he also wants to see Gotham free from all the crimes. He says that since Batman is no longer there to save the city, he feels the need to step up in his place. But as he's a normal human, he can't fight against the threats that Batman used to deal with. He offers Peter to give the information of all the villains who are secretly ruling over Gotham. But Spidey doubts him at first, but Alfred creates a fake story that makes Peter trust him. So Peter decides to go with his instincts and join Alfred to save Gotham. But first he asks for some food as he's eaten nothing but leftovers near trash from the moment he arrived in the city. And after this, Spidey asks Alfred for a lab where he can create more web fluid for his web shooters and also for the research about the weaknesses of his villains. And when Alfred gives Spidey a lab that Bruce Wayne used to have in his initial days as Batman, he hands over the information and a list of all the villains' strengths and their weaknesses. Then Spidey starts to make contingency plans inspired by Batman, but deep inside his mind, he's still worried about his life in his own universe. Because remember, he still doesn't know what's going to happen after this. But neglecting all his thoughts, Peter starts to make a plan against the Penguin. Now, Spidey knows that Penguin doesn't have any real superpowers, but is extremely smart and mostly depends on his intellect for the most part. But a sudden attack from an unnamed hero would be, well, surprising. So he sees all the details about the iceberg launch that the goat Alfred gave him, and secretly goes in there by crawling walls, while silently taking out all of Penguin's goons by creating a web bomb, which we have seen the Insomniac Spider-Man use. And slowly Spider-Man takes out all of Penguin's guard, leaving only him to fight. And the moment Spider-Man confronts Penguin, he's shocked. Penguin thought that the guy in the red and blue costume was just a rumor. And Spidey replies with a joke, and even before Penguin reaches for his umbrellas, Peter punches him and it's a one-hit KO, as Spider-Man easily takes out Penguin and puts him behind bars because he's not even a competition for Spider-Man's strength. The moment Penguin is defeated, a void is left for everyone to take his place. But Alfred already knows this and neutralizes all of Penguin's network and shows the world how corrupt he is so that Spidey can work his way up to the next villain. And the villain next in his clearing list is Scarecrow, who releases a fear toxin in Gotham City. And as soon as Spider-Man finds out about this, he starts to make an antidote for the toxin, but has to leave the work incomplete as the thick fog is affecting hundreds of citizens. He, with the help of Alfred, finds out about an abandoned theater, which is Crane's hiding location. And the moment Spidey enters inside, the air fills with a toxic mist that causes him to lose his mind. The toxic air is something that Peter has faced while fighting Mysterio, but Scarecrow's abilities are way ahead of what he's ever faced, which makes Spidey start hallucinating about things that matter to him the most, and his failures like losing his Uncle Ben. And while all of this is happening, Alfred completes the antidote for the fear toxin. But soon after, Peter realizes that his spider sense reacts to actual physical mass and threats. He fights blindly by relying on his own reflexes, and when a single punch lands on Scarecrow's face, he immediately faints, as Spider-Man is more than capable of even killing someone with a single punch. But he constantly holds back, because he doesn't want to kill anyone in the blink of an eye. But when Alfred successfully puts an end to Scarecrow's toxic mist, Spidey starts to feel discomfort in his head. It was the fear toxin that was messing with his spider sense, and this was Bane's plan all along. He used Scarecrow as a bait to test Spider-Man's strength. And when Peter feels almost unconscious, he sees an armored hand grab him by the ankle and slam him into a concrete wall. And after a few devastating blows, Bane mocks Spider-Man for hiding all his fear behind his silly little jokes. But the moment Peter realizes how strong Bane is, he stops holding back. Because even after he's weakened, Spider-Man is incredibly strong. So he regains his footing and starts to punch Bane straight into his face. Realizing how powerful Spider-Man is, Bane activates his Venom Pump, which results in a massive spike to his strength. But in his current condition, Spidey might not be able to go and fight hand-to-hand against Bane. So Peter stops punching and decides to smartly take Bane's Venom Tube out by crawling on walls and blindfolding him with his webs. And after that, Peter launches himself at full force and punches Bane straight through a brick wall, finally landing him unconscious. But at the same time, Spidey also faints because of exhaustion. And when he wakes up, he finds himself lying in a hospital bed right next to Alfred. At this point, Alfred and Spider-Man truly trust each other to tell them about all the secrets that they were hiding. Alfred tells Peter about his life before Batman died, and Peter tells him how much he misses his universe and all the people he loves there. But in the middle of their conversation, a portal opens in the hospital. Turns out that it's Doctor Strange apologizing to Spidey for teleporting him into a different universe instead of their own, and asks Peter to come back. But he straight up refuses. Because remember, he's Spider-Man after all, a guy who wants nothing but to protect innocent lives. But the people of Gotham are still not safe. Peter says that he'll be back into his own universe the moment he defeats Joker, the last villain on his list. Hearing this, Strange says that he will bring back Spider-Man whenever he's ready, and would have loved to fight against the Joker, but him being in a different universe for a long time period can cause instability to the multiverse. So he tells Peter to make sure that he takes care of Gotham and himself, and then proceeds to leave. And during this, Joker was listening to everything with an audio bug. Now knowing everything about Spider-Man and all his traumas that he has faced in his world, and after a few days, Peter recovers from all his injuries that he got when fighting Bane. Now, entirely focusing on Joker's every move, Spidey swings around the city. Meanwhile, the goat Alfred starts to recognize all of Joker's old patterns. But this is not the same Joker that Alfred knew, because after Batman's death, he also went silent. But watching Spider-Man saving the city, but with completely different morals from Batman, the Joker felt something different this time. Spidey, in his eyes, is filled with hope and responsibilities of people who don't even know him. And that is what Joker is going to use to destroy Spider-Man. During this, Alfred finds out that Joker is still hiding in his funhouse, so Spidey swings there, this time finding himself in a room filled with distorted mirrors. He hears the sound of Joker echoing in the entire room, mocking Spider-Man for risking his life for a city that doesn't even know or care about him. He makes fun of Peter for not going back to his own universe when he had the chance, because he just can't defeat Joker. No matter what happens, Gotham is never going to be a safe place. Joker forces Peter to kill him, because that's the only way by which he can truly defeat Joker and save Gotham forever. And deep inside his mind, Peter kinda agrees with Joker, because even after defeating Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, and even the Sinister Six, they always come back stronger. And being this frustrated, Spidey breaks the exact mirror which Joker was hiding behind, grabbing him by his collar and raising his fist, thinking to end Joker forever. But Spider-Man, being a real hero, refuses to let that happen. He says that every life matters, and he's not one to take anyone's life. His Uncle Ben taught him about responsibility. and right now, it's his responsibility to protect these people from villains like the Joker. Peter webs Joker to the ground and says that he's not even worth remembering, and goes back to meet Alfred for the last time before going to his real home.